Initially, if you check the back post, the area is large. This is for said coming back from the end to back. Okay, so from the end pixel of the first line to the starting pixel of the second line. Okay, but this is to clear this and ready to go. So that's what you can able to see, very a small area compared to this. So again the next is started. So from here the second frame will start. So this is the second frame starting point, active area. Okay, so this pulse is most important one. If this pulse is not proper in your system, then your video will not be proper. Maybe your camera will work fine, but whatever the processing system you are doing, or whatever the image we are image or video we are seeing in the display, it will not be proper. Maybe your processing system will process the proper data, it will give the proper output, but when you display it in the output port, it should be proper. Okay, so this is the magnified view. So this is will called as a pulse width. This pulse width duration is a minimal duration to understand something like your passage or nah command we'll use in the Verilog. So to detect the starting position of the horizontal pulse. Similarly, we have vertical pulse, so which will say end of the session. That's what this back push. Okay, so from the end of the position, it will say vertical pulse. So the horizontal timing and vertical timing, this should we need to understand very properly to understand the VGA. So for the horizontal, we check the back push and front push. Other than that, we will have pixel clock, horizontal video, back push, front push, sync pulse. Sync pulse is nothing but this one. Horizontal scan lines means total number of scan lines, including your active area. What are the dummy pixels are there in per line? So for each and every standard, if it is VGA or if it is 1 megapixel or 2 megapixel, whatever, we have the standard values for all these things. Okay, so either they'll give in terms of pixel, or they'll give in terms of heads, or else they'll give in terms of timing, microseconds. Why these different standards? In the sense, when we go for a digital system, we need in terms of pixels. When we go for analog based system, we need in terms of either frequency or time. So that's what these different standards. So if it is analog standard, definitely we can able to get this 0.64 microsecond, 0.64 microsecond, whatever is there. But if it is a digital system, it will be little difficult. Something like, if it is saying 25.60 microsecond, I can't exactly get a proper number of pixels. That means whole number of pixels within this 25.60. Maybe within that 25.60 time, I may get 8.3 pixel, 8.5 pixel, some half of the pixel, some portion of the pixel value I have to get. So in that case, they'll approximate it with the proper timing. So this 25.6, they'll mention with the 25 microsecond. So for any VGA timing, any VGA frame, the horizontal video always will maintain 25 megahertz of frequency, which is actually, the pixel frame will go for the 25 megahertz of frequency. It means to read a single pixel, I need 25 megahertz, which is actually 32 microsecond. So to read one single pixel, I need the 32 microsecond, which is nothing but it's calculated with this. So total horizontal sync line for the digital system, I have 128 pixel for the back, sync pulse. For the horizontal video, back push, okay. 128 pixel for the sync pulse, 16 pixels for the back push, 640 pixels for the horizontal video, and 16 for the front push. If you add everything, it will go for the 800 pixels. So this 800 pixels, if you are reading for the 0.404 microsecond, it will go for 32 microseconds to read a single line in the first line. So if I am reading a single line, in the sense, I need a 32 microsecond. So which is nothing but a 25 megahertz clock. Okay. So if I have n number of lines, so this n has to multiply with this 32. So in the vertical, if you check, this will be 32 microsecond into 521 lines. This 521 again, for the vertical lines, sync pulse, it will be 2, back push 29, and vertical video 480, and front push 10. So total if you add, you will get 521 pixels. Total if you add, you will get a 521 pixels. So this 521 pixels, if I want to, sorry, 521 rows we will get. So this 521 rows, it means 521 different lines. If I want to read, the value will be 521 into 32, which is actually 16 milliseconds. It means to read a single frame, I have 16 milliseconds. Okay, that is a VGA standard. So with this standard, if you follow, then the VGA resolution will be proper. I forgot to say, this standard is purely based for the 60 Hz refresh rate. 60 Hz refresh rate in the sense 60 frames per second. So per second, I'm going to display 60 frames in the VGA monitor. So how this calculation happen again, if you want to calculate all these things, we need minimum input, something like either a pixel clock or else refresh rate, something like this. Any one of the things if you know, then only we can able to calculate the timing properly. So the predefined standards for the VGA or HDMI or whatever, you just take it. So initially the timing requirement for the VGA of 640 x 480 with 60 Hz frame, okay, refresh rate. So they mentioned it was 25 MHz. So 60 Hz is the refresh rate, and pixel clock will be 25 MHz. So in that case, my total vertical line will be 800 pixels. So if it is 800 pixels in the sense, 25 MHz divided by 800 pixels. So which will give you 31250, which is again 32 microsecond. From previous slide, it's a reverse process, okay? So 31 microsecond we have to get for the vertical line, vertical sync. So horizontal sync 525 pixels, which is 525 into 32. So again it will say 60 Hz, okay? So again horizontal sync pulse, which is 96 pixels, so which is used for 3.84 microsecond. So if you want to calculate any video frame, different video frame, first you need to download the standards. So based on that, you have to calculate what is the pixel size for the horizontal and vertical sync, and back poach and front poach. Based on that, you have to find out the timing. With this, you have to generate a signal for the V-sync and H-sync. So this is the overall idea. So this is the active area. If I want to display this active area, this vertical blanking and horizontal blanking, along with that, this vertical sync and horizontal sync, this should be added. So whenever the pulse started, this is the whatever the value we got, the same thing it is defined with the bar chart. That's it. So again the same thing, it was tabulated with the values. So this active area will start here. Once the active pixel ends, so I need to calculate till this horizontal blanking again for the vertical sync. So once it finished, it means my next set of pixels will come. So okay, now we have to think, whenever we are using any camera, the camera doesn't have this extra information. We are starting off first pixel till end pixel without any delay, will come continuously. It means for the 640 x 480, it will come continuously, one after one, okay? So if you check for the frequency of the input device, that means a camera sensor, and if you check for the frequency for the output device, VGA, definitely it will not match. It will have two different frequencies. So the first frequency for the input, it will be 640 x 480 alone. So 640 x 480, 307200, that is the number you will get. So 307200 is a clock for your VGA of input device alone. But if you check for the output device, it will be 800 x 521. It's not 480 x 640. So including the dummy pixels and the horizontal pulse. So your clock frequency for these two, it will be different. That means the number of clocks I am going to process, it's different. Think it, for the input I am having 640 x 480 clock cycle. But to read this output, I need 800 x 521. So what about this extra clock cycle? I didn't have this extra clock cycle. So actually what we can able to do in the sense, This is a input timing period. So for a real time, my output timing also should be same. Okay. So here the number of clock cycle is 480 cross 640, but here the number of clock cycle is 800 cross 521. So what will be the frequency? Okay. So this will be 1 divided by 30. Get the number. Okay. So this is a two different frequency. In real time, the problem, we can't operate with two different clock. So if you want, it doesn't mean that two different frequencies. We can't operate with two different clock, but we can able to operate with two different frequencies which is generated from the same clock. Okay. So based on the reference clock, I can able to generate two different frequencies. With these two different frequencies, I can able to operate the system. But two different clock cycles or two different clock sources if I take, we can't able to process. The major reason for this, the synchronization. Maybe the first clock will start at 0th second, but the second clock will not start at exact 0 second, or else it may start with something else, but I didn't have any relation between these two. I can't able to judge or I can't able to predict what is the difference between these two clocks. So I need some kind of reference between these two clocks. So in real time,